안녕하세요 여러분, Justin here with 신디샘TV.
Hello.
Today we have the original Jewish mom, my Jewish mom, here to talk with us.
Yeah.
So this is very special. I get to talk a lot about Jewish education and how my mom raised me and lessons I learned from my mom. Today we get to hear it from the source. So welcome.
Thank you.
So, mother,
Yes, dear.
what was it like raising me?
It was awesome.
Awesome, I was the best kid ever?
No, you were never the best kid ever, but you were a very good kid.
So when I was a baby,
Yes.
what was the most important thing that you focused about my education?
Oh, your education. When he was a baby, the most important thing was getting him to sleep. But once we started education, reading.
Okay.
Reading and singing.
Reading and singing?
And stimulating you as a baby. There was always toys that helped you learn.
Mm-hmm.
There was always puzzles and things that made you think that you had to figure out. There were always books that we would read together, that you would read alone. We liked to do books where you had to make up your own endings.
Shane likes those books too.
Use your imagination. Yeah.
So when I was young, in the beginning of my education, the most important thing that you focused on was constantly stimulating me.
Right.
So reading to me, giving me things to interact with that were educational, puzzles that I can solve, and things that stimulated my creativity.
Right.
So not just stories, but stories where you have open endings,
Right.
or you have to choose the ending, or you have to fill in
Or
something
you make
to
up
make
your
it
own
out.
stories.
Or making up your own story.
And we went to a lot of classes when you were young too. Before you went to school, there was the socializing part of it, that we always went to classes with other moms and other kids and learned different skills, played different games, learning how to interact properly with others.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot on this channel, about giving your kids lots of different experiences. So they can have all the different experiences of life and they can figure out themselves and learn from everything.
Which
Right.
meant, family field trips.
Lots of family field trips.
Lots of family field trips, going to different places with animals, going to different nature places, going to get our own maple syrup out of trees.
I don't remember that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was.
I want to go get maple syrup out of trees now.
You got to go back to Chicago. Here we can only get palm trees. We were constantly busy, very busy.
And then once I got into school, what did your focus shift to?
Doing the best you could. I think that the most important part of education is not that your child be the best in the class or get 100% every time or compete with everyone else. The most important thing is to know you studied as hard as you could and do the best you can.
Yeah, and we talk about that a lot on this channel too.
Well, I must have taught you well.
Yeah, that you have to reward your child for doing the best they can.
Right.
Not for all of the achievements that they make. I mean, you reward their achievements too, but they don't have to be the best in everything.
Right.
They just have to try their hardest at what they do.
It's the elevator theory.
Explain the elevator theory.
Elevator theory that I've always thought about when my kids were growing up is that you give birth to a building. Some people give birth to a one-story building and some people give birth to a skyscraper. The child who can only go to one story, it's your job to get them to one story. But you want to keep pushing them to get as high as they can within their limits.
So nurturing them within
their limits.
What did you do to help nurture me when I was...
We always made sure you studied.
Did I have a study time?
You always had a study time. Everyone had to do homework when they came home from school.
So we had a routine, right?
Yes, a routine and a place to work, a place to get your work done.
Right, so the same like when I was a baby, you made sure my environment was stimulating to me.
Correct.
When I was in elementary school, you made sure that I had a good environment and a good schedule so that I could do my best there.
I think it's also very important that parents participate. if your child is having a hard time learning something, think of a different way to teach them. The teacher's only giving you one way. And some kids learn differently. So see how your child learns best and help provide that at home.
Right.
I don't believe in homework, by the way.
Oh, we don't either. We don't give homework.
Yeah, I think homework that they give in public schools is never a good thing, because if the child already knows how to do it, why keep doing it at home? And if they don't know how to do it and they take it home and they do it wrong, they're only reinforcing their bad habits.
And most of the time, the homework that academies give or schools give end up being homework for the parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the kids just take it home and then the parents do it.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah. But you did encourage me to do a lot of work at home that wasn't homework, right?
Right.
Reading and...
Yes. Everyone had to read, and I was a big reader, so we could all read together and talk about what we read. Reading is only part of the story. The rest of the story is comprehension, discussion.
So it's not enough to just read something.
No.
But you have to interact with it.
Right.
So you need to talk about it, ask questions about it, dissect it, figure out why it is the way it is,
Right.
ask a lot of questions.
And apply it to life.
Right, and apply it to life.
Especially math.
Math needs to be applied to life.
Math is everywhere.
Right.
And if you're learning math, you have to learn why you're learning that math. What it applies to in your real life, or it's meaningless. It's just memorization. And we never believed in any kind of memorization.
Right, always thinking,
Right,
not memorization.
right,
Understanding, not memorizing.
right.
So what did you do to help me when I had problems?
We would review it over and over, or find different ways to... We'd skip around the kitchen table to do spelling words.
Skip around, like
Skip, we'd
skipping,
skip,
dancing?
because you like to always move. And
Yeah.
if you have a child that likes to always move, sitting still is not going to be the way they learn.
Right. I had to learn while I was moving.
Right, so we'd move. We'd dance the spelling words, we'd sing the spelling words, we'd run around the table with the spelling words.
And did it work?
Yeah, you did well.
Nice. What did you do to expose me to different kinds of things when I was growing up in elementary school? Like, did you encourage me to read different kinds of books or have different kinds of experiences?
I did, but your schools did that too.
The school was good at
The
it?
school was very good in making sure you were in every genre and read different kinds of information. You always liked facts better than fiction.
Yeah, I still do. I'm very fact-oriented.
Right, but the school made sure that you were exposed to both. So as a parent, I only had to reinforce that.
How did you reinforce it? Just by having me...
I made you do it.